An organization was set up some years ago called the Council of British Hajjis. And the Council of British Hajjis was there in order to try and bring about a degree of excellence within Hajj tour operators, and also have a focal point where people like you and myself, if we were to face any problems, we would be able to go and speak to. We're going to hear very briefly from the CEO of the Council of British Hajjis, Rashid Mogradia, on the issue of the welfare of British travellers, those who are going to perform Hajj, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Nahmaduhu wa nasalli ala Rasulil Kareem. May the Almighty accept our being here, your intentions for undertaking one of the fundamental journeys of Islam, the Hajj, one of the pillars of Islam. And may Allah accept from each and every one of you that you've taken that first step, the intention, innamal amal binniyah. Yeah, actions are based on intentions, and that intention needs to be firm that you are going for Hajj for the pleasure of Allah Almighty. So I congratulate you for taking that first step. Briefly, I want to just talk to you about the Council and its work that we do. The Council was established back in 2006 with a view that we help British pilgrims when they're out for Hajj. There were things that certain individuals saw but didn't rectify, and as a consequence, people for the following year felt at unease. They were being targeted by unscrupulous tour operators, and they faced various different issues. And that's where our work started to begin, and it was about educating pilgrims at that point. Within a year or two, our growth came in terms of government departments wanting to engage with us, trying to better enhance the pilgrim experience, work for the benefit of pilgrims, but also address some of the issues, one being the unscrupulous tour operators or the tour operators' issues. That leads me quite nicely to the element of Hajj fraud, which has impacted our communities over the last few years. And you'd find and you'll hear stories each year about pilgrims being deceived out of their life savings and being impacted on what is now known as Hajj fraud. So we engaged with the police at that point a few years back to try and address this. And over the last 3 years, there's been a concerted effort by the authorities and trading standards to bring about justice for pilgrims who have been affected. And I remember back in 2013, there was a big case in Manchester where around 200 people were affected to the tune of about £1 million. And we had people at that point crying in the crowd on the eve of the last flight out of Manchester Airport, trying to fly out. And they had impacted their life savings, their personal wishes to undertake Hajj. And we worked with the authorities trying to bring about justice. And over the last couple of years, more so this year, there's been a number of high-profile cases where groups or agents have been fined in excess of £40,000-50,000 because of the issues that they've created for pilgrims. And ultimately, they lost out. So what we have been doing in terms of working with the police is trying to encourage people to report. So you may know friends or family who have been affected by agents. You need to come forward and address that. But on a more positive impact, what we've done is actually launched what is now the Hajj whitelist. And this whitelist, if you look to my right, we're asking the question, is your Hajj and Umrah tour operator verified? And this asking that question will generate interest from yourselves to say, hold on, who have I booked with? Whether he has got the necessary Ministry of Hajj licenses, which you can see behind me, and whether they also carry what is known as the Air Travel Organizer license. And this is a mandatory requirement for any agent who supplies a package, flights and accommodation to have. And for you consumers, it's very difficult to know who is Ministry of Hajj approved, who has the necessary ATOL licenses. And what we've done is launched the whitelist website, where we've actually verified these agents for ease of your mind, ease of access, to know that these companies are verified and listed. And just like the halal meat industry, where we demand HMC and otherwise. We want to make sure that you as consumers are looking out for this logo, which is now the stamp of a seal of approval, a seal of verification, to know that this individual or the group or the travel agent has been rigorously verified by ourselves, holds the necessary licenses, and more importantly, they've actually signed up to our code of conduct, so that if they have any issues in Saudi Arabia, you know that there's some recourse for you. What we need to do, because there's around 48 slides and I'm conscious of time, you may not necessarily get all the information. So I'm going to rush through some of the slides, but pertinently, what we need to do is keep a note on the web links that I'm going to probably put up, the Twitter feeds and Twitter links as well, and the hashtags. Make a note of them. And you can follow that up with us after the event as well. Alhamdulillah, this is the second event in a matter of just a week. We were here last week at the LMC and very well received. Alhamdulillah. So I'm thanking you for the opportunity for us to actually come out, thanking the organizers here as well, for us to give the opportunity to deliver the message that will help you, inshallah, perform that better Hajj, inshallah. This is a snapshot of the website. Very simple to use. It's got the links. It's got the search facilities as well. And in time, if your agent isn't verified, you can demand that from them. Ask them the question, are you CBH verified? So before you travel, go on the government website, the Foreign Commonwealth Office's website. Very simple and very effective travel advice there. You need to make sure you have your current immunization, current passport is well in excess of 6 months and a minimum 6 months validity. And also take a copy with you, because now when you're in Saudi Arabia, certain services, they'll require your passport. Unfortunately, when you go for Hajj, your passport is actually taken off you when you land in, whether it's Jeddah or whether it's in Medina. So it's taken off you, and you won't see your passport until you depart back from the kingdom. And therefore, it's necessary that you have a copy, just in case you need to buy a SIM card, maybe provide some kind of ID. And if you need to liaise with the Foreign Office as well, it's good to know that you have this copy of your documents. Also, keep documents, your travel itinerary with your family and friends back at home. Just some tips and advice for, before you travel. We're actually running a vaccination clinic here today, so if you've not already had a jab, you can sign up for the jabs with us at the back. But one of the mandatory requirements for Hajj and Umrah is that you are immunized against meningitis ACWY. For those of you that are 18 years or above and you fall into the student category, it's actually free for you now. As of October, I believe that they're going to have a national immunization program. But again, check with your GP to make sure that you're immunized against the ACWY. Also check that you've got your additional vaccines that are jabbed up and topped up as well, such as typhoid, your tetanus, your hepatitis, and so on and so forth. Clear advice, visit your dentist. The last thing you want is a toothache during the days of Hajj. You're going to find it difficult to try and get services there. You don't want to jeopardize or ruin your Hajj as a result of your dentist. And definitely visit your optician, but also carry an extra pair of glasses. And I'll tell you a funny story happened with myself. We were in the days of Hajj in Mina, and I hadn't realized, but one of my lenses actually came undone. And because it was a sunny weather, I'd been wearing sunglasses throughout the day. And by the time I'd left Mina and got to Mecca, obviously it's gone to Maghrib and it's getting darker, so I changed my glasses. And for a minute or so, I thought, what's happened to my eyesight? I couldn't see properly. And it took a little while before I realized one of my lenses was actually missing. So I spent the next 2 days wearing sunglasses all throughout the days because I couldn't see properly. So just a word of advice, if you do wear glasses, take an extra pair with you. Before you travel, make sure your home's secure. If you've got any milk deliveries, any type of expected deliveries, cancel them. Try and buy some, automatic night dim timers as well, so the light comes on at a time. And get your neighbor and family and friends to check up on your home. And there's a pertinent hadith there, have faith in Allah, but tie your camel. And in the same way that we have faith in Allah throughout this journey, we have to make our own provisions and necessary safety precautions as well. Some advice on the travel when you're departing from the UK as well, especially if you're carrying money belts. be advised that obviously for the security purposes, you're going to be, checked by security when you depart from here. So make sure you have everything in order so that you're not having to stop and search, and there's issues with security when you're departing from the UK as well. If you're taking large sums of cash, make sure you've got some receipts of cash withdrawals as well, so you're not being questioned at the airport. Certainly for our sisters who may wish to engage in a lot of shopping activities, just make sure that you have receipts or you have bank statements to justify your expenses therefore. Our Hajj terminal in Jeddah it's been very much streamlined. Forget all the horror stories, you could be in and out of there within the hour. However, because of the logistical issues at Jeddah Airport, there can be delays of up to 12 plus hours that you're waiting there just because they need to transport until you from Jeddah all the way to Mecca as well. So expect to be there for a number of hours. Your tour operator at that point in time will have little control over how quickly you're taken away from Jeddah all the way onto the Mecca, because there are hundreds and literally thousands of flights coming in, and they need to systematically get you across. So be prepared to wait. Just to give an example, the last Hajj I was there, we waited in excess of 13 hours. And that was because there was issues with logistics at that point. So the best thing is just to make yourself comfortable. There's kiosks there, there's food kiosks there, there's a masjid there, there's shower facilities, just relax. And when the time is right, your group tour operator will actually take you and tell you, now it's time for your group to move forward. Just a scene of Jeddah Airport there. Just a little bit of a profile on Saudi Arabia. The crime rate is very, very, very low, just because it carries a severe punishment in terms of the impact of theft and crime. We have got a number of really good Hajj safe products. They are anti-theft as well. For the brothers, we have this Hajj belt, very good to use. For the sisters, we have a neck bag as well. Have a look at the products. These are there to help you with your journey of Hajj as well. So as well as being practical, they will help you throughout the days of Hajj as well. And they are made for the Hajj and Umrah sector. Keep your ID at all times. You'll be given a bracelet. The European groups will be given a red bracelet. Wear that at all times. It contains vital information for the authorities there to take you, if you get lost, to your tour operator within the holy sites. Just some advice when you doing Tawaf and Sa'i. There's a lot of crowd there. There's over 2 million people performing Hajj with you. So try, be careful. Give way to the other brothers as well. Try and avoid congregations and crowds, and be courteous at all times. As you can see from the slides, there's a pertinent message that's coming across. Be patient, and your group tour operator will tell you this as well. Be patient, be patient, be patient. And one of the biggest things that people tend to get upset about is the expectation element. So from now, kill all expectation of what you are going to achieve in your Hajj or get from your tour operator. For whatever you do get will be much better perceived and accepted. So safety in Mina. Follow the guides that are there. There's the Saudi authorities that will be on standby. Because of the number of issues within Mina as well, the tents catching fire a number of years ago, you're not allowed to light a stove or any cooking within the tents. And this is a campaign we launched a couple of years ago on keeping the holy sites clean. You'll see people from other countries who are not probably well versed with hygiene or the level of cleanliness as we are. So educate them as educate yourself. So by cleaning the holy sites and keeping them clean. So these are the scenes of the tunnels, and occasionally if you're walking from distances from Mina all the way to Mecca, you may need to use these tunnels. So be careful, because the cars that are there, they have toxic fumes and they'll have the engines running, and if you're cutting through the tunnels, you won't be able to breathe, and it's better to carry a flannel of some sort. Just cover your mouth and the airpiece, and just try to quickly get across from one tunnel to the other. Very useful information. Take note of these emergency contact numbers. These are the numbers within the Saudi Arabia. And one of the things is that we will have a British presence of doctors in days of Hajj, and they will be there throughout the Hajj period, a few days in Mecca, a few days in Mina as well. So if you do fall ill or if you do need to seek their advice, I'm going to show up their number shortly. These are direct mobile numbers of the doctors that will be there, and you'll be able to help you out. And one of the things that we've done is also, when you're out there, respect the sanctity of the holy sites. No to selfies. And this is a big campaign that we did on social media, and it was very well received. And brothers, you go in there, sisters, you go in there. This is your experience and your answering your call to the Almighty. So treasure their moments for yourself. It's not about showing off and to others about where you're going. Support for Hajjis is there. These are the key details for the Hajj delegation of doctors that will be in days of Hajj. And what we'll do, we'll actually put the slides up on our website, so you can take down the details as well at cbhuk.org. And these are the locations, and these are the numbers of the doctors as well. So again, we'll share that with you online as well. So within Saudi Arabia, you can ring, and from outside of Saudi Arabia as well. And they'll be this year located on Ibrahim Khalil Street, which is just behind Darul Tawheed as well. I'd like to thank our host, Noor Ul Islam. I wish them all the best in the fundraising that they're doing to build their masjid and their community center as well. May Allah grant them barakah. And accept from us the noble deed of trying to serve you, the Hajjaj as well. And may Allah accept from us the humble deeds that we're trying to serve you in whatever little way we can. And I'm indebted to the volunteers that help CBH throughout the year, the doctors and the volunteers as well. Without them, we can't provide this service. And Jazakallah khair. May Allah accept and give you the Hajj Mabrur and accepted Hajj. Jazakallah khair.